All right, so welcome, and let's begin our class today. My name is Brad. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being patient if we took a few minutes to get started today. If you're joining us from home or from Shreveport, the library there, we are grateful that you're with us today. We're going to spend the next hour or so together, and we'll begin by having an introduction of how this meditation works. If you've meditated before, if you've never meditated, doesn't matter what your experience level is. We'll be able to have the experience of meditation today. We'll describe a little bit about it, how it works, and then we'll just sort of dive right in. So here in the center, we have a nice group today and a few new people. So I'm just going to take a minute and just ask maybe how you heard about our class. Okay, excellent. So in that short time, in that setting, you still felt... Okay, that's excellent. That's very... Okay. Okay. Were you at the fest last time? No. Okay. All right. Great. Well, I'm glad you're the second person here today who came from the Plano Festival. So basically, if you didn't hear, we have some people here. We had a festival last week in Plano, Texas, and some people came to give it more of a try here. So a little bit about Sahaja Yoga, a little bit about us. We're a nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1970 by the lady that you see in the photograph. Her name is Sri Mataji. And she founded this meditation to be all volunteer led. She didn't try to make a business out of this. She's using ancient knowledge about how we're made inside, how we can tap into our own, strengths, our own energy, and live in a balanced way. And one of the things that Sri Mataji laid down as one of the principles of this meditation is you can't pay for something that you were born with. We're all born with all of this inside of us. We're all born with the ability to be balanced, peaceful, to have a greater understanding of the depth of who we are inside. It doesn't come from outside, it's from inside. And so that's why we are completely a nonprofit. And that's what the word Sahaj means. Sahaja Yoga Meditation. Sahaja means born with you. It means built inside of you. So again, everything that you need is built inside already. That's what this chart sort of represents in a very simplified way. What's built inside of us. Have you all seen something like this before? Kind of, yeah. So before we go a little further, is this your first time? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're back. Okay. So you kind of know a little bit about how this works, maybe, but we'll go over it again. So you've kind of seen a chart like this before. You can call this a chakra chart. We call this our subtle system. We have all the systems that we know about in our body, our nervous system and our digestive system and all of those things. The physical side. This is the subtle system. It's built into our nervous system. It's part of our nervous system, this subtle system that we have. And in our subtle system, we have 7 chakras, or we call them energy centers. They start at the base of our spine and they rise up along our spinal column. And the last one is here, where our soft spot used to be, on top of our head. And they're placed at the nerve plexuses of our body. So we know about our solar plexus and our heart plexus and so on. These are literally physically inside of us. We have all of our nerves bundled together in these different spots inside along our spine. And that's where these chakras are located. What do our chakras do? Why are they there? They are regulating our physical health, our mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So they're vital. They're very, very important to how we feel every day. If our chakras are healthy and strong and energized, then we feel good. We feel balanced. We also illustrate or demonstrate in our lives all the qualities that you see on this chart. So peace is built inside, comes from inside. Creativity, all that you see here, forgiveness is the quality here. Maybe we don't feel these things every day. Maybe we don't feel so forgiving all the time. Or maybe we aren't feeling so peaceful every day. But the qualities are there. They're built inside. If we're not feeling them, if we're not feeling balanced, it's because maybe there's something that's a little bit off inside, which is very common among all of us. We have the system inside. When we're little, it's all functioning great. Everything's working great. But then as we begin to grow older and life happens, then perhaps decisions we make, where we live, where we grow up, so many things can affect the health of the system inside. It's very sensitive too. It absorbs everything around us, positive things and not so positive things. So those are our chakras. And then the other important part of our subtle system are the three lines that you see, the blue, yellow, and white. These are channels of energy that we have. So we need these to be working well and healthily so that we feel, again, in a balanced every day. So a little bit about these. Our left channel, the blue line, it's our past. It's our emotional side in us. Our desires come from this left side. So all the things that we want to achieve in life, I want to grow up and I want to be, a doctor, whatever that might be. I want to have a nice little house with a white picket fence and two dogs. Our desires come from this left side. I want to be healthy. Then the right side is our future side. It's our action side. So this is the planning side in us. So if we have desires from the left side, from the right side are, okay, how am I going to achieve those goals in life? What's my to-do list? What do I have to do to achieve what I want to achieve in life? So we have those two sides in us, past and future. And in the middle, the white line that you see, this is the present. And this is where we grow in the present moment. This is where we improve ourselves. We ascend, you could say. Our evolution takes place in the center. It's very hard. People say it's very hard to change. It's very hard to change. It is hard to change if you're stuck in the past or you're always thinking about tomorrow. Someday my life is going to be what I want it to be. Someday life is going to be great. Always kind of putting it off, or thinking, gosh, if only, 10 years ago things were great. They're not now, So we don't want to live in the past or in the future. We want to be in the present, which, how do we get there? It sounds like a challenging thing. People always say to live in the moment, be present, okay, that sounds good, but how? How do I get there? Again, we talked about children. Little kids are automatically in the present. You can just tell by watching them. They don't worry about what's coming next. They aren't concerned. Maybe they get, two kids might, squabble over a toy. But then 10 minutes later, they've forgotten and they're back, to themselves. Little kids are always living the way that we should live, more in the moment and more present. I will tell you that we can get back to that. We can have that back again. We can get back to being in the present again. We can have that sort of childlike wonder. Again, it's all built inside. It's just a matter of understanding it and tapping into it. And so, again, going back, we've got all this going on inside. Maybe these things are healthy, maybe they're not. Maybe one day, the left side is heavy, and if the left side's heavy, then we might feel a little bit like we're dragging. Maybe we can start to feel like we get into a funk, and depression can come from this left side if it's a little bit out of balance. And the right side is the opposite of that. If we just cannot stop and relax, go, that feeling. And we might experience these, in a day. We go from one to the other. Sometimes our personality might kind of lean more to one or the other as we kind of observe ourselves. But again, we can be more in the present, and we can have all of these centers inside really healthy and working at their very best. How do we do that? So there's one more thing inside of us. There's one more thing. And that is this little triangle that you see at the base of the photograph or the drawing here. This represents our sacrum bone. Our sacrum bone at the base of our spine. We do have a triangular shaped bone called the sacrum. And sacrum, ancient people called it sacrum, sacred. They understood there was something special about this bone inside of us. And inside of this bone lies an energy called the Kundalini. So have you all heard of Kundalini before? Before you went to the fest, had you heard of Kundalini? Okay, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Kundalini and let's sort of define Kundalini, because there's a lot of information about Kundalini that you can find online or in books, and maybe not all of it is accurate. So let's begin there. Kundalini is a 100% positive energy that we all have inside of us. And we refer to this energy as a mothering energy. A mothering energy. So, like a mother, she knows all about you. You have your Kundalini inside of you. It's a dormant energy. She's resting inside of your sacrum bone. She's dormant, but she knows all about the system inside of you. She knows what's going on. She knows if your chakras are working as well as they can, what challenges you might have in life, what your dreams might be, what your aspirations are. And I will tell you, your Kundalini probably has a vision for you greater than you might even see for yourself. She sees you really at your very best. And she has a desire, your Kundalini has a desire to rise, to come up, to rise up along your spinal column, to rise up and to reach the last center here. And when that happens, then you get yoga. So Sahaja Yoga, built inside of you, you have all the mechanism that you need. You don't have to pay anybody any money for this. It's already yours. You walk in the door with it. You have everything you need to achieve yoga. And what does yoga mean? Yoga? Excellent. Yes. Yoga means union. It means a connection with something higher than yourself. So there is a power, however you feel comfortable describing that, that makes the world go round. That created this earth. It created all of us, all the nature. There is a power, and call that divine energy or the power of love or God or the divine. We can achieve a connection. We're all built for that connection, and it's for everyone. It doesn't matter where part of the world you're from, what you look like, your nationality, nothing. We're all the same inside that way. So your Kundalini rises, and when she begins to rise, as she's rising and reaching this last center here, along the way, she begins to nourish all of these centers inside. So we've been going along in our life with all of the system inside, not really aware of it, maybe knowing, what we have inside. And so perhaps, again, this might have been out of balance. There's been nothing really in our life to really recharge it from the inside out. We can do things externally. We can take a vacation, we can, exercise, we can eat right, and to try to feel more balanced and healthy. But really, there has been nothing yet inside re-nourishing us from the inside out, like a mother does, like a mother nourishes her child. And that's what she does. She nourishes you from the inside out. So another meaning of Sahaj, besides born with you, is spontaneous and effortless. And so that is what this meditation is. It's an effortless process. It isn't something that you have to force and make happen. I'm going to be so forgiving today, as we start the day. And if we're lucky, we make it to work before we're honking our horn or something like that. It can be very challenging when we're trying to force something, to make something happen. Again, it can be difficult to change, but what's amazing is really amazing. You begin to change automatically because you've got this power inside of you. This mothering energy is rising and nourishing you. And you might be surprised at your own gifts and talents inside. Maybe, again, look at these different qualities that you see here. This center here, its collectivity means sort of a oneness, a feeling of oneness with other people. Another quality here is to communicate. Communication comes from here, how we speak. And so as this energy rises and begins to work in this area, you may find that your speech changes. You might find that maybe you were someone who, I'll use an example like sarcastic person, maybe a sarcastic person, and that starts to clear away. Your speech becomes more kind, more gentle, more, what's the expression, you can, catch more flies with honey, something like that. That happens naturally. Naturally, you become more kind in your speech without even trying. You just see it happening in your life. So many things happen. So your energy rises. Again, you become more nourished. I want to just talk a little bit about this center here because we're all here to meditate. And so let's define that. What does meditation mean? It means to have no thought in your mind. Your mind becomes absolutely quiet. So some meditations you might have tried or know about, they might use focus as a technique. So I'm going to focus really hard and intently on, whatever I'm doing at that moment. So I'm, eating my breakfast and I can taste the food and I can feel the spoon in my mouth, my cereal, whatever it might be, or taste the coffee and hear I'm, mixing the cream into my coffee, and I can hear the sounds. So that idea of like being really focused, so that all the thoughts that are coming get kind of pushed away. So I'm really focused on what I'm doing all the time. That's one technique. But if you're doing that, your mind is engaged still. It's still engaged. It isn't quiet. It might be helping to push out some thoughts, but your mind is engaged. Another thing might be to imagine. I'm going to imagine I'm sitting, in the Bahamas, and I can hear the waves crashing. I can feel the sun on my face, and those types of things. Again, that might be a nice relaxing exercise, but it isn't meditating because your mind is still working. So true meditation is your mind becomes quiet. That may sound like, how did that happen? How do I do that? When was the last time any of us ever experienced quietness? It's not easy to do. It seems not easy, but it is easy through this awakening of your energy. Spontaneously, effortlessly, your energy rises and crosses over this center here. So let's talk about our left and right channels again. Our left channel comes up, our right channel comes up. This on our chart here is our mind. Thoughts are bubbling up from the past, thoughts are bubbling up from the future, and they're bombarding our mind all day long. We wake up, we're thinking. We lay in bed at night, we're thinking. We're sleeping, we're dreaming. Our mind is always engaged from the past and from the future. When your energy rises, however, and she crosses over the center, and to do that, we need to forgive here. That's something that we can do to help, is to let go, forgive. She begins to slow your thoughts down. So thoughts come up and they fall down and they rise and they fall like waves. And she rises up and she pushes in between your thoughts, that space, and she makes it a little bit longer. So maybe it's a second of quietness. She makes it 2 seconds, and then she makes it 3 seconds. And the more you meditate, the more of this energy rises. And so that little quiet space gets longer and longer and longer. And Shimadaji has said that even just a second or two of quietness in your mind will help to relax you. It helps to sort of almost heal all that constant, bombardment in your mind. So it extends out, and then it kind of begins to carry over into your everyday life. So it isn't just your meditation, sitting in meditation, that your mind becomes quiet. It carries over as you're at work, you're talking to coworkers, you're making dinner, you're mowing the lawn, your mind just becomes quiet. And I'll go back again to our example of the little kid. We've all been there before. It isn't an impossibility. We've all had that quietness in our mind before. It's just a matter of kind of regaining that again, getting back to that simplicity. So that's how our mind becomes quiet through meditation. Automatically, it happens. It doesn't have to be forced, or it's not something you have to train your mind in any way. It's just letting go and letting your energy work. And then your energy reaches the last center here we talked about, the yoga, the connection. We call that self-realization in Sahaja Yoga Meditation. And when that happens, this whole system inside, it's like you plug it in and it starts to light up. So it lights up and you begin to feel it. You begin to feel it. It's a mystery, maybe. We don't know what's going on inside. But then you begin to actually experience it. You experience it. And one of the ways you experience it is on your hands. So you can see how the hands are color coded. Our nervous system is very complex inside, and all of our chakras are connected through our hands to our fingers. And so we begin to feel on our fingertips the health of our chakras inside. You felt some coolness on your fingers. Yeah. Coolness is a sign that these centers are balanced. Balanced. You might feel a little something else, a little tingling perhaps, or a little bit of warmth, which is a sign that your energy is working inside these centers and trying to clear out anything that's imbalanced inside. So you begin to know yourself. It's a very empowering meditation practice. People have said in history that you should know thyself. Know thyself. How do I know myself? What does that mean? This is how. You really understand. Now I know myself. I know what's going on deep inside of me. Call this your roots. These are the roots of who we are inside. And so you know your roots, and you can begin to cleanse yourself from the roots. Again, we talk about external things to help us get through life, to feel more balanced, vacations, things of that nature. But these don't get to the roots inside. Your energy nourishes your roots, literally nourishes your roots. That's why it becomes very spontaneous and really it's a big word, but I'm going to use it, transformational, really. You're going to feel like a different person from the inside out. Um, so that's the basics of how all of this works. It's all built inside. One more thing. So this energy is dormant. Now, a few people in history have been born with this energy awakened, and they're the great people in history, like Abraham Lincoln and Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Those are some examples of people who saw the world a little bit in a greater vision than most of us do, and they made positive change in the world. But we all can be Abraham Lincolns. We all have that inside. We're no different inside. But for us, the energy is turned off. So what is the key? How does the energy start to rise? I will tell you it's something very, very simple, and it's just a wish in your heart. It's that simple. Your energy is just waiting for you to just simply ask from your heart, and then she starts to rise. Um, and that's all that it takes. A desire for the energy to work, to have an open mind, an open heart, and she starts to rise up. Um, so you can kind of take what we talked about today as a hypothesis, and you're all scientists online or here in our Dallas Meditation Center, and you're just gonna see for yourself. Just keep an open mind and just try. Any questions? Did it all make sense? Okay. It's pretty amazing. I've been doing this for about 8 years, and it's really helped me tremendously. And so that's why I come here and volunteer, because it helped me, and I know that it can help everybody else. If it helps me, it can help anybody else, really. So that's why I'm here. And that's why Ajit, who you've met here before, and if you've seen him online, and so many other volunteers that you'll meet here in Dallas, and this meditation is practiced all over the world, over 100 countries or so, and it's all the same. The language maybe is different, but it's all the same. So if we don't have any questions, we can get started. Okay. So what we're going to do, kind of break up our time in a couple different meditation sessions. And the first one, we're going to actually in the center, we can soak our feet. So I'm going to show an example here. Tiziano brought his foot soak tub. So in the back here, we have tubs like this, and we're going to just fill them up about ankle height with lukewarm water. Put some salt in there, and we're going to soak our feet for our first meditation. And when you do that, because this is very natural, this is all natural, and the 5 elements that are around us, we're made up of those elements. Our chakras are made up of those elements, and when we use them, they really can help remove any imbalances and help us to feel better. And so we use water as one of the elements, and salt is the earth element. The other 3 elements are fire, air that we breathe, and then ether, which is like the atmosphere. And so we'll use those 2 elements, soak our feet, and then I'll guide us through a meditation, and we can all just join along. So let's do that. So if you're watching online or from home, this will just take a few minutes. We'll play a little bit of music while we go fill up our tubs and come back, so you can just sit quietly, and we'll be right back and start our first meditation. Thank you.
So now, we have before you this triangular bone and this Kundalini. And she rises through 6 centers. The 7th center is below the Kundalini. It is below the Kundalini. What are we facing today? It should really make you
Okay, thank you so much for being patient. If you're watching us online, now you don't need to do the foot soak. You can just join us without this little technique. It's all the same. Just a nice little extra that we have the advantage of doing here because we have a kitchen here. But if you do want to do this, again, you just want to get a simple tub, a little plastic tub like we showed you. The salt that goes into the tub can be any kind of kitchen salt. It doesn't have to be anything special. Some people like to put Epsom salt or scented salts, and that's fine, but put a little kitchen salt in there too, because we want to create basically the ocean here in our little foot soak tub. So let's get started now. And again, we'll have a guided meditation. You all just sit back and follow along. I'll lead this. But there's a couple things before we get started. And one of them is I'll just kind of show you how we're going to go through this first meditation, because we use our hands in Sahaja Yoga a lot, because our left side is our desire side and our right side is our action side. So we're going to keep our left hand open on our lap, and we're going to use our right hand and place it where these different centers are located. So first we're going to put our hand over our heart like this, just like you're pledging allegiance. And then you put your hand underneath your rib cage like this, perfect. And then underneath basically the lower part of your abdomen, right where your hip is. You can kind of see how that's corresponding to these different centers. Then we put our hand back underneath our rib cage. That's for the big green circle here. We'll talk about what that means. And then we put our hand back over our heart like this. And then we're going to put our hand, for this one here we talked about, we put our hand on the left side of our neck. Yep, just like that. We're going to turn our head to the right, and that way our hand fits right in the corner of our neck like that. And then we'll put our hand across our forehead like this. We can bend our head down to do that. And then we're going to put our hand on the back of our head. So we'll kind of bend our head backwards like this. And then we have the last center here we talked about on top of our head. For this one, we're going to stretch all of our fingers apart. We're going to put the palm of our hand at the very crown of our head like this. And if you can see, I'm not grabbing onto my hair like this. I got my fingers all stretched out because we're going to massage our scalp, but I'll walk us through all that. Okay. If you're not sure, you can open your eyes and just watch me. But that's the basic direction that we're going to go. And then one more thing, and this is how we always begin our meditation and end our meditation. And we use our hands for this too. And we call this raising our energy, raising this Kundalini energy inside of us. And to do that, we all take our hands. You can do this together. You just put your left hand towards your body, about where this Kundalini is located, the lower part of your abdomen. And then you put your right hand in between. Yep, right hand goes in between. Perfect. And then our right hand starts to, this is our action side, it starts to rotate outwardly over the top. So let's see. Kind of, there you go. Now your left hand goes over. That's it. Yep. So over, and then both hands begin to move together, and they come up to the top of our head, and we tie a great big knot like that. And you can see how we're basically saying, I want my energy to come up and stay up here above all the chatter in my mind. So we do that once, and we do it a second time. The second time, both of our hands come up, and we tie two big knots on top of our head. And then we take our hands back down, and then we do it a third time. Yep. And then we tie 1, 2, 3 knots on top of our head. And now, for each one of our chakras that we have, we're going to put over us, it's called a shield, or it's called a bandhan. It's like a protection. And to do that, we just put our left hand right at our hip, and our right hand touches our left hand, and we make a big arch over the top of our head, and then we bring the arch all the way back. Perfect. So that's one bandhan for number one. So that's a total of 7 times, over and back 7 times. And you can put your attention on each one of these centers inside as you're putting this shield over yourself. You can look at the chart if that helps you. Know where to put your attention as you put these shields like that. And when we're done doing that, we can put our feet in the water. Again, if you're watching at home, you can just do this sitting on a chair, sitting on your sofa, sitting at the library. You can even do this if you are able to. Just sit on the ground, sit in a cross-legged position. That works too. So let's put our feet in the water, and then we'll close our eyes. And put both of our hands open on our lap. And if you're wearing glasses, you can take your glasses off. And we want to take a moment and just relax ourselves. This is an effortless meditation. It works automatically. We're designed for this to work. So the best thing we can do is just relax and let it work itself out. Get ourselves out of the way. So we can take a minute and just relax physically. So our eyes are closed gently. Relax your eyes. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your forehead and the skin of your face. Just breathe at your own pace. No need to focus on your breath. Relaxed breathing. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. Release any tension. We want to be sitting straight, but not rigidly. So straight, but comfortable. So settle into your chair. Be comfortable. Your arms are loose. Your palms are open on your lap. Relax your legs. And your feet are apart from each other. So there's a space between your feet. They're not touching. Let's take our right hand and just put it over our heart on the left side. And we'll put our attention in our heart. As we move our hand to these different points, we're going to put our attention where our hand is. So our hand and our attention are on our heart. That's how we'll begin. And we'll begin by expressing desire, by simply expressing our desire. So we can all say in our heart, inside, please may I feel the peace of meditation. We just ask, please may I feel the peace of meditation. We can ask in our heart, please may I feel the comfort of my own energy. Please may I feel the comfort of my own energy, this mothering energy inside of us. And then, keeping our attention here, we ask ourselves, do I have a higher self? Do I have a higher self? We ask the question 3 times in our heart, am I the spirit? Am I the spirit? 3 times. Keeping that open heart and that open mind. Am I the spirit? Now we move our hand to the upper part of our abdomen, under our ribs. Press our hand gently here, put our attention here. Let's ask another question about ourselves. So the question here, 3 times in our heart, am I my own master? Am I my own master? 3 times. Am I my own master? And now we move our hand to the lower part of our abdomen. At hip level, we press our hand on the left side and put our attention here. So now we'll begin to affirm the qualities that are built inside of us. We'll begin to ask for these qualities, ask our own energy to rise and to begin to nourish these centers. So these qualities really grow and shine in us. So the quality here, where our hand is, the quality here is knowledge. So this is built in, positive, pure knowledge. Comes from inside. all the science, all the beautiful literature, poetry, all the good things. They're, you could call it divine inspiration. It's all built inside. All that knowledge comes from inside. So let's ask for that. So we're going to ask 6 times in our heart, and we're going to address our own energy as we do this. So we'll ask 6 times, Mother Energy, please may I have pure knowledge. Mother Energy, please may I have pure knowledge. 6 times. With your attention where your hand is, nice and relaxed. Mother Energy, please may I have pure knowledge. And then she begins to respond to your asking, to your desire. So ask and receive. Please may I have pure knowledge. Let's move our hand now under our rib cage again. Put our attention here. We ask the question here, am I my own master? And the answer, every one of us, built inside of us, another quality that we all have. It's the big green circle that we saw on the chart. That is our sense of good and bad, right and wrong. Our innate dharma, you can call it. We all make mistakes, but we can learn from our mistakes. We're designed that way to improve ourselves, to guide ourselves. So here we'll affirm that quality with confidence in ourselves 10 times. 10 times in our heart, because this chakra has 10 petals like a flower. 10 times in our heart, we can say, Mother Energy, I am my own master. Affirm that truth about yourself. Mother Energy, I am my own master. 10 times in your heart. Mother Energy, I am my own master. Let's put our hand now back over our heart. Again, relaxed. Put our attention inside our heart. So see if you can let your attention go deep into your heart. We can feel our heart beating. Let your attention go into your heart, deep inside. And we asked the question here, am I the spirit? Do I have a higher self? And another truth about us, every one of us, we are more than our body and our mind, our thoughts, and our past and our future. There is something deeper and higher inside of us, and that is the spirit which resides in our heart, a reflection of the divine in our heart. So let's affirm that. Let's affirm that truth about ourselves. So 12 times here in our heart, all of our attention in our heart, we can say, Mother Energy, I am pure spirit. Mother Energy, I am pure spirit. 12 times. Believing in yourself with confidence in yourself, in your spirit. Mother Energy, I am pure spirit. Now we'll take our right hand and put it on the side of our neck, on the left side. turn our head to the right, and put our attention where our hand is again. We can squeeze very gently right here. And here, there's something that we can do for ourselves to help assist our energy, to help us be more balanced, to help us be in the present. And that is to let go of the past, and specifically to let go of any guilt we might be carrying with us. So the past is past. We can't change the past, but we can change ourselves going forward. So holding on to guilt, it weighs us down. It serves no purpose. It's like an anchor. So we want to let it go. We want to let it go here. So here, 16 times in our heart, we can say, Mother Energy, I am not guilty at all. Mother Energy, I am not guilty at all. 16 times in your heart. Mother Energy, I am not guilty at all. Let it all go. I am not guilty at all. Mother Energy, I am not guilty at all. And then, let's ask for the quality here. There's a quality built in here too. Let's ask in our heart. Let's say, Mother Energy, please may I have pure self-esteem. Mother Energy, please may I have pure self-esteem. Just say that a few times in your heart. Please may I have pure self-esteem. Now we'll put our hand across our forehead, and we can bend our head down slightly. Let our head rest on our palm. So we talked about this center, the quality here, the quality of forgiveness built inside. When we forgive, our energy begins to quiet our mind. We begin to feel that peace inside of our mind automatically. So here, without counting, just the sincerity in our heart, we can say, Mother Energy, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Mother Energy, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. And just let everything go here. Forgiveness, the quality, it's like our own superpower built inside. When we forgive, we're benefiting ourselves. It's for our own benefit. And it's one of the kindest things we can do for ourselves is just to let everything go, to forgive. I forgive everyone and myself. Forgive yourself too. We can be very hard on ourselves sometimes. So just let it all go. Now we'll put our right hand on the back of our head. We'll keep our eyes closed, but we can lift our head up. So now our head is resting back, and it's as if we're looking up at the sky, but our eyes are closed. And here, same chakra, same energy center. On this side, on the back, we say from our heart, humbly, O Divine, please forgive me for any mistakes that I've made, knowingly and unknowingly. Just ask in your heart, O Divine, please forgive me for any mistakes that I've made. knowingly and unknowingly. And now we take our right hand, we bend our head down again, slightly. Place the palm of your hand at the very top of your head, the very crown, where your soft spot used to be. And stretch all your fingers apart. Put all your attention here. Let all your attention come up here. And then put that desire here that we talked about, that wish, to feel this meditation, to experience it. So your heart is here. Your hand, your attention, your heart. And let's rotate, massage our scalp in a circle. We'll move our hand over to the left, and down towards the front, and over to the right, and then all the way back. Left, front, right, and back. And we'll make 7 circles, and with each rotation, we ask from our heart, Mother Energy, please may I have my self-realization. Mother Energy, please may I have my self-realization. 7 times, 7 circles. Mother Energy, please may I have my self-realization. It's all built inside. It already belongs to you. It's just yours for the asking. So Mother Energy, please may I have my self-realization. And then when you've finished, we can put our hand back on our lap. We'll keep our eyes closed, be relaxed, both palms open. And we'll hold our attention at the top of our head for just a moment or two. Try to keep your attention there without straining your eyes or stressing about it. Try to hold your attention. If it feels a little challenging to hold your attention, the more we meditate, the easier that becomes, the more you practice. So let's open our eyes now, and we'll end our meditation the way we began, by raising our energy. We raise our energy 3 times, and we put on the shield 7 times. So here in Dallas, we'll dispose of our foot soak water. We'll take a few minutes to do that. If you're watching from home or Shreveport, you can just sit quietly. We'll play a little bit of music again for you, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. So thank you all for being patient. I hope that first meditation was relaxing for everybody. So what we'll do, we have some time left. We're going to spend a few minutes. We're going to listen to a short talk, a short clip of a lecture that Shimataji gave. She traveled all over the world, starting in 1970, teaching people about this meditation. So we'll listen to a short talk, and then we'll wrap up with another meditation. So we can go ahead and start with that talk.
What are we facing today? It should really make you feel quite disturbed to see the way things are going on in every country, everywhere. What's the problem? What is such a need for people to become so restless, full of tensions, collectively, country-wise, anywhere you go, you find some sort of a confusion, terrible. The whole society seems to be boiling with kind of a fear of destruction. What is the reason? There are so many religions, so many organized, disorganized, all kinds of things. There are so many sadhus and sants. There are so many books written about what you should have. But the only one who is a seeker of truth should see one point. Why? Why there is so much problem in this world, and how can you help them? Where is the problem? It is inside the human being. As described, you see, we have come out of animal stage to human stage. We have a human awareness, no doubt. In that awareness, we start seeing all kinds of things that are not good, which are destructive, which are disturbing. If it doesn't disturb you, that means you are not at all a sensitive person. But you are sensitive as a human being. So now, what is the reason for this? In every field of life, whether it is political, economic, or any field of life in which human beings are living, there is a very subtle problem which people don't understand. Now, if I say that there is spirit within us, which shines in our heart, we need not believe. Need not believe. But our attention is not on the spirit. They call it Atma Vimukh. Our attention is outside. At this stage, at the human awareness, our attention is outside. Outside in various things. Now, where should our attention go? To evolve for what? To achieve what? Firstly, our attention has now go towards our spirit, towards spiritual understanding. This is one thing has to happen to human beings to begin with. Otherwise, our attention is outside. We are worried about money, worried about power, worried about this, worried about that, in competition and all kinds of things going on. But if your attention is turned somehow towards your spirit, then what happens to you is that you become the power of the spirit. And the power of the spirit is the highest power that you could think. First of all, spirit is the one that loves. Loves without asking for anything, without expecting anything, just loves. It's an unconditional type of a personality which just emits love. Anybody in trouble, anybody having a problem, just it flows. This capacity to flow in the heart exists. But on top of that is the closing point, is that our attention is not on our spirit.
So we just listened to a few minutes of a talk from Shimataji, and we basically what she was talking about was the spirit. We affirmed that when we meditated. The highest that I am is the spirit which is in my heart. And she was saying that if human beings could take their attention away from jobs and worries and whatnot and put it more inside, then that's what's going to help humanity in general to grow. We grow spiritually, and it helps in general the society. And so we talked about our Kundalini. One other thing that the Kundalini does when she rises, our spirit is represented on this chart right here by this little flame. She helps to bring our attention to our spirit automatically, become more attached and more understanding of your spirit. And again, when your attention is on your spirit and not outward things, then automatically, all the qualities of your spirit, which Shimataji said, one is love in our spirit. Then your life begins to have more depth and more meaning to it automatically. So just wanted to play that today, a little clip. Anybody questions about that before we get started in our next meditation? Why don't we just go into the next meditation? So this is very simple. We'll just do very similar to what we did the first time. We'll just close our eyes. We're going to use our hands again. We'll focus on some specific chakras this time. So we can take off our glasses again if we're wearing glasses and just sit comfortably, palms open. Relax ourselves, be comfortable. So let's take both of our hands and just place them both towards the ground. So if your palms could touch the ground, they would be flat on the ground. So your palms are facing the ground, both hands. And we're going to put our attention at the very base of our spine. So your sitting bone. You're going to put your attention right there. Again, nice and relaxed. And this is our very first center inside of us. This chakra sits underneath the Kundalini. It's under the Kundalini, and it's the foundation for the Kundalini and for this entire system inside of us. So this center is very important. This center is very important inside of us, that it's healthy. And the earth element itself helps to clear out this center, helps to balance it. So that's why our hands are towards the ground. So with our attention here on this first center, we just ask in our heart, Mother Energy, please balance my first chakra. Please balance my first chakra. Mother Energy, please bless me with a sense of direction in my life, with a simplicity in my life. Please help give me a strong foundation for my life. So the qualities here are simplicity, innocence, like a child, wisdom. Mother Energy, please bless me with wisdom. Please bless me with innocence. Innocence doesn't mean naive. It means a simplicity. A simplicity in our lives and our thoughts. So please make me less complicated. Please uncomplicate my mind, my life. Just hold your attention here for just a moment. Mother Energy, please balance the first center. Let's put both of our hands back on our lap now. So our attention is in the center on our sitting bone. And let's move our attention slightly up. So not quite to our hips, but right between our sitting bone and our hips. We'll put our attention right there, in the center. Doesn't have to be exact. Don't worry if it's not perfect. But right in that general area, put your attention there. And we'll put our attention on our sacrum bone, on our kundalini. Put our attention on this energy inside of us. In the center. And then we just ask. Again, we just ask very simply from our heart. Mother Energy, please nourish my subtle system. Please nourish me from the inside. Please may I feel your comfort. Please may I feel your relaxation. Please rise. Please help me stay in a balanced way. Please help balance my life. Just holding our attention there, just with this desire in our heart. Mother Energy, please bring me into the center. Please give me a balanced life, naturally. And please may I experience the peace. Now we'll move our attention up our spine. Let our attention settle at our navel. Put our attention here. And then both palms open, nice and relaxed. Attention on our navel. Again, we ask from our heart, Mother Energy, please bless me with a peaceful, satisfied life. Please may I feel inner peace. Please help me to feel satisfied with where I am in my life today at this moment. Please help bring peace into my life. Please remove anything keeping me from feeling that peace. Again, it's built inside of us. So our energy, it's almost like turning on a hose, and she begins to cleanse and wash out anything that isn't positive inside of us. With our attention on our navel, again, we just ask in our heart, Mother Energy, please awaken this quality of inner peace in me. I can feel that peace inside. No matter what is going on in my life, if things become hectic or things become stressful, I still have that source of peace inside. And not only does that peace help me, but others can feel that peace. Now we'll move our attention, nice and slow, up our spine, and let it settle right in the center of our chest, in our center heart chakra, right in the center. All of our attention right on our heart, in the middle. Energy, please open up my heart. Please take away any insecurities or fears that might be inside my heart. Please expand my heart. If I've built up any barriers around my heart, please break down those barriers. Nice and relaxed, just holding your attention there in the center of yourself, with that desire being expressed. Mother Energy, please open my heart. Please make me a fearless person. That is the quality here in the center of our heart. Courage, fearlessness, a sense of security from inside. We turn on the news, we can feel very insecure. But we have built inside of us this power, this quality. Help us stay steady and strong. So Mother Energy, please open my heart. Please remove any insecurities. Please make me strong. Now we move our attention nice and slow, higher to our throat, to the base of your throat. Just hold your attention here now. Mother Energy, please remove any imbalances from this center. Please help me to feel connected to other people. Feel a connection, a oneness with others. Please improve that quality of collectivity inside of me. So the motto, E pluribus unum, out of many. Well, that is the quality here. And we're stronger with all of our differences. You can also ask, Mother Energy, please make me an effective communicator. Please help me to speak clearly and concisely to help get my point across with kindness. Please remove anything negative in my speech. And lastly, Mother Energy, please bless me with a sense of self-respect, and respect for others. And now we move our attention to our forehead. Our attention here again, nice and relaxed. And we just say here, Mother Energy, please awaken the quality of forgiveness inside of me. I want to be forgiving. I want to let go. And Mother Energy, please, may I experience that quietness in my mind. Please slow down my thoughts. The term is thoughtless awareness. That's when our thoughts end and our mind is at peace. Please may I experience thoughtless awareness. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. And then we can move our attention to the very top of our head. Let your attention go to the very crown of your head. Try to keep your eyes relaxed. And we can say in our heart, Mother Energy, please open this center. Please open this center. So I can feel that connection to something higher than myself. So I can recognize my depth inside. Please establish my self-realization. Please establish my self-realization. We want our energy to rise up to the top and to stay at the top. So we'll just sit quietly now for another moment or two and just hold our attention at the very top of our head. So now we'll slowly open our eyes and we'll end our meditation by raising our energy. And you can do that nice and slow. Let your attention rise up with your hands. So your attention starts at the base of your spine. When you make the knot, your attention is now at the top of your head. And you go back down, let your attention again rise with your hand. And do that 3 times with some, put your attention towards it. And then as we put on the shield 7 times again, you can put your attention on each chakra. You can look at the chart again. You're not quite sure where they're located, or just put your attention inside. So I hope everyone is feeling relaxed. And so we did a lot of things today. We put our hand and we said a lot of things. So we have some handouts, but one thing to take with you. So now what? We've had this nice meditation today. How do we continue this through the week? So it doesn't take much, really. 5 to 10 minutes a day, a little bit of meditation. And find that time, whatever time of day works for you. The morning is a good time before the day gets started, but again, you find the time for yourself. There are 3 simple steps you can do. We did a lot of things, and we'll give you a handout. You can just begin by raising your energy. Even if it's not perfect, just, raise your energy, put on the shield. Always start that way. Find a quiet space. You can even play a little bit of quiet music like we did. There's a great resource called freemeditation.com, all one word, freemeditation.com. And it has music and guided meditations and all kinds of things. But find that time, find your space, raise your energy, put your hand on your heart, and just express the desire. Please may I feel this meditation. Please may I experience it. It's your own personal experience. And then put your hand across your forehead. Every day, I forgive. Let it all go. So much stuff happens. Just let it all go. And then for yourself. And then put your attention at the top of your head. Rotate your scalp again. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's really just more from your heart. But 7 times. And then say 7 times again, I want to feel this meditation. Please may I experience it. So if you're feeling all relaxed today, nothing that I did or anything, it's your own energy. It's the power inside of you. So you do it every day. Imagine, it starts to accumulate more and more and more. And more energy rises up, and you begin to feel more balanced, more peaceful, and your life really begins to take a smoother track. Life still happens, but you're able to handle life in a much easier way. Any questions anybody has? The similar, especially when you come to the class, because we usually always begin with the first meditation that we do with foot soak. But the second meditation is kind of up to the discretion of the person who's leading the class, and that just was what I did today. But we can do different things. You can use our hands more. Today we just kind of used our attention, but your attention, your hands, it's just kind of, but it's always sort of similar in the sense that you're kind of focusing on different areas inside, and then you always end by keeping your attention here and just kind of just letting everything go. And I mentioned sometimes it can be a little challenging to hold your attention here. Did anybody feel that? Or was it not challenging at all? So if it is a little bit of a challenge, one thing that you can do instead is just put your attention here. That's might be a little easier. We can feel our heart inside of us. You can put your attention on your heart and let your attention go deep inside and meditate with your attention in here. That's where your spirit resides. Put your attention on your spirit. Meditate there. Or put your attention on both. Put your attention here and here at the same time if you can do that too. It doesn't show it on the chart, but there's a special connection between our heart and this center on top of our head. You can do that. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Thank you. Thank you for watching online. Uh, yeah, so join us next time and we'll see you. Thank you.